Hey guys, it's Onin, and I've got a bit of an interesting replay here that I want to take a look at and see what we can learn from it. So, I'm playing twos with Jade, who I consider mostly my main, together with an alchemist that I have no idea who it is, but we have some pretty decent team play going. Won the first round, this is the second round, which we're going to win, but that's not the interesting parts. We want to start here to show off kind of how we play this and how kind of dominant this is. So up against Jumong and Lucy. They're also just random people I don't know. Start off with pretty... I have to kind of give up the mid to a Jumong because it's just... there's so much pressure and so difficult to lock down, but we get better damage, a very good combo there on the rune. Bit of a waste of an ulti, but still get permanent damage on their Lucy, while I've taken none at all and they're both being pressured. Miss a few things, dodge a few things, but overall, keep them under control, keep the energy gain, keep a good position where they can't really capitalize on us that much. Another good combo to get a rune where they have to retreat. Wait out the Seeker's Mark, get some more control, find a good position, get a snipe, have another ultimate ready. Sad to get it interrupted, but it's not that big of a deal. Sandwich in between us again. Sadly a little bit late on that snipe combo. Does mean we missed one rune from a good panic flask. But then a completely wasted ulti because he re-aimed a little bit too late, I believe. Get some more snipes, get my second ulti up. Well, not pretty basic gameplay. We just have much better control over the mids. We keep them kind of out of comfortable positions. We dispel as much of their pressure as possible. And just don't really let them do all that much. And then finally the Jumong falls to a great route into Deadly Inject. Side combo. And Lucy gives up. So that's not the interesting part of this replay to me. The interesting part is coming up in the third round. So here's the third round. And I'm not even going to commentate on this just that much. Just kind of enjoy how terrible I am. Because in this round I somehow managed to do literally nothing. Get constantly pressured by him once. Get knocked out of my... away from my healer. Don't hit anything. Miss the rune. Still don't hit anything. Look at the score. I've done 20 damage so far. Now I'm up to a whole 44 damage. It's going better. And I managed to do the only good thing in this entire round, was just hit a rune, and then... Oh, okay, I also dodged that one, but then not that one. So we just went from 2 rounds where we kind of dominated them into a round where this happens. And I want to kind of figure out... So we're going to start this round again, but we're going to do it at a slower pace and see exactly all of the things that go wrong and how it really adds up. So first things first, Seeker's Mark hits me with his M2. It's not the worst thing in the world, but the bad idea is taking this position. So I think I need to avoid him from getting the stun to relieve his pressure. So I'll stealth and take a weird position. But I choose to hug the Lucy, so he takes the obvious idea of, well, I don't know where the Jade went, so I'll hit his healer instead. And then I'm in the way, and I get incapacitated. So that kind of ruined my snipe setup, because I lost the duration, and now I just kind of feel like I have to snipe in mid-range, which is obviously just gonna get spaced. Miss another obvious shot while Jumong was standing still, to no less. But then here the big issue is my Lucy just got panicked away. I didn't even notice, and I'm in a position where both of them can start hitting me. And since no one has taken any damage, Lucy doesn't even have to heal. Still does it, I guess, just for safety, but I'm just pressured back into a corner. Now, it's good of me to actually go this far back, because it lets us reset a little bit. But then I try to go in, and the rune is about to spawn, and I decide to try and snipe Jumong instead, who just black arrows away, because he has so many ways to do that. Eat a panic flask, which maybe shouldn't have hit, but it obviously does, so no sense complaining about it. Once again, I'm in a position where both of them can start hitting me, and I have to space back to safety.
You can't hide from me.
A good roll from Lucy, dodges an ulti, so that at least it gives us a little bit of edge back, considering he wasted all of his energy and we have a bar each. But now I'm starting to stealth back in. Obvious snipe, then know immediately where I am, and immediately get clarity potions, with also dispel the barrier. Maybe not the best timing from her, but really bad positioning for me. I have this thing where sometimes I get antsy to try and snipe people, and I stealth and immediately M2, and that's the worst idea you can do. Because everyone hears your snipe starting up, and if you just stealthed, they know that you didn't move. Of course you didn't move. You have to move a little bit so that they at least don't know where you are. They can make an educated guess, but they don't know. Whereas if you immediately start casting, then they just know. So now I got panicked into the worst position. Eat a Seeker's Mark before I realize I need to get out and space out. And here I'm just desperately trying something. Stealth into an okay position. Finally. Decide that Jumong is not gonna get hit by that anyway, so I'll just get the rune. But once again, this is just kind of what's gonna happen when you get rolled over this much. We're both basically out of position. Lucy caught in the corner and me not in her line of sight and in range of both of them. Just getting destroyed. Obviously I have to dodge this one, so I do. But then I'm way too low, Lucy can't find me, and a little bit BS that stealth isn't fast enough to dodge that, but what are you gonna do? So, let's break down exactly how this happens. And we see all of the mistakes that add up to a loss, but how do you make those mistakes? So once again, let's go by it slowly. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, just the start at this point. So first off, the Seeker Harrow hitting me is just kind of not the plan. The plan is to start in mid, get a little bit of zoning, and hopefully try to get some more damage than him, but mostly fight for positioning. And there, this positioning error by me really matters, just getting incapacitated for free. Really just ruining everything. And what this kind of does is put a damper in my confidence in my game plan. Because so far the plan has been get a bit of mid control, see if you can zone out with snipes, and then secure the rune. And now I'm at this point where practically 2 of my attempts to snipe are being foiled completely, and I feel obligated to try and hit something, and it becomes far too obvious. Then I feel obligated to try and hit a disabling shot, even though this is not a position where I can capitalize on it. It's not a position where even a good player would get it triggered, so I'd at most get the root from my battle rights. I don't even have the bonus ammo, which might have been a good pick, but for so far snipes had been going good in the previous 2 rounds. And now I basically have nothing. I have a space, which I probably should be using immediately. I don't spot this panic coming, which puts me in an even worse position because my Lucy is now out. I should have just immediately spaced back and regrouped, but I feel so obligated to do something. And especially in 2s, but also in threes, you sometimes just have to realize that there's a point where you need to stop doing things and start just getting your cooldowns back. Because then you can start doing things with those cooldowns, with some actual tools to do things. This would have been a decent stealth, but again, I just feel bad, and so I try to get damage on a hero that... I mean, he has a barrier on it, it doesn't even matter. I could be getting this rune instead and getting some of our health back, which we desperately need. Get a bit more energy so that Lucy has some more escapes. But instead, I do nothing. Barrier did get dispelled, so it might have done damage if I'd hit, but Jumong wouldn't let me regardless. And instead, I give Lucy the ability to get rune control by knocking it back. So that's basically it. It's a matter of my confidence getting disrupted by the Jumong's plays and me getting into a little bit of a tilted state of me trying to make up for all of my mistakes instead of just getting a clear mind, resetting the situation, and trying again. So let's go back to the second round and see how much better I did there. So I still get hit by the Seeker mark because, well, I can't dodge it from that range. But I get a bit of a better situation. I don't know how that route hit, but I'm behind the wall, I'm stealthed, it's okay. I even get a freebie from the Lucy walking too far forward. She also has no idea where I was, so, you know, basically not safe at all. But here I find a position to go in, get a bit of damage on Jumong, and I'm out of cooldowns, so I space backwards. And that's how you should be playing it. So the Jumong now overextends and tries to go in on us, so it's on us to punish him for it. We get a little bit of damage from it, mostly just to reset our position. And here we get... I could be hitting either of those, but a rune is so much more important. And we did just decide between ourselves that we would combo these together, which we do basically perfectly. Lucy wastes energy thinking she would be getting hit instead, and even gets closer to me, which is a pretty major misplay. Immediately gets punished for it. So basically everything is just going according to our plan. I mean, this part kind of isn't. We only do 16 actual damage with an ulti. But, you know, it's fine because it gives us a dominant position. Jumong is once again overextending. And we can capitalize on it. Maybe a bit better than this, but... You know, everything going according to plan. I'm confident in what I'm doing, so... You know, I don't really care about this guy. I'm just gonna kill him. And that difference in attitude just makes so much of a difference. When your game plan works, you could just make such better decisions than when it doesn't work and you start tilting. So that makes it very important to just always be aware of what you're actually trying to do. And if it doesn't work, don't try to make up for it in some ridiculous fashion. Just reset, find a better way to start doing things. And to show how much of a difference it makes, let's round it off with round 4 of this match, which also didn't start all that well for me. So at least the Seeker arrow doesn't hit this time because I stay out of range, but it does give them some free space. And from the start, both of us are starting to get a bit more damage than we wanted to, whereas I'm not really hitting anything, and I'm not starting to use my stealth setup for snipes because, you know, with the last round that I so shamelessly lost, I'm kind of losing confidence in that. When I do snipe, I'm visible, it gets immediately dodged. I try to go for the Jumong again, but the Lucy is the obvious target, that or the rune. But rather than going in and trying to make bad things happen, I just try and find a good position. It's getting rather difficult. I'm getting hit by a bunch of Jumong hits. And sadly give away the orb because I was a little bit too anxious on getting that. But, you know, we're not getting destroyed so badly. And when I've got my cooldowns back, I find an opportunity. I get a pretty good sequence with a disabling shot, a bunch of M1s, and a space backwards to dodge his ability and get some good damage on him. That was really good re-aim, if I say so myself. He was out of black arrows, just used them. So he spaces in between, but I just have this feeling that it's not gonna last long enough, and indeed it doesn't. So now look at me, I have got my ulti. I'm 1v1ing Lucy, which I might have been able to just do more. But instead, the full punish of Jumong. I'll gladly eat that Dragon Slayer for a kill. Absolutely gladly. So you see how much of a difference it makes to just take it easy and not force it that much. For a couple seconds there, I was practically doing nothing and eating damage. But I wasn't wasting things, is the main difference. I wasn't trying to hit buttons that weren't going to be useful to me regardless. And so that just allows you to get back in, to find their mistake to capitalize on, and to get a win even though you start behind. So I hope you guys enjoyed that analysis. If you got any further questions or suggestions or, replays of your own, just feel free to leave a comment.